Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Wekiva High School welcomes you to Mustang Arena for Varsity Wrestling Competition. Please welcome our guests from Apopka High School. They are the Blue Darters. And they'll be taking on your Wekiva High School Mustangs. Before we begin our event this evening, let's meet the teams. And we will start with the 106 weight class. We'll begin with the 106 class, and we'll start with Apopka's Nathan Ramirez. And for the Mustangs, Zariah Curtis. Next up in the 113 class, for the Mustangs, Michael Alon. In the 120 weight class, for the Blue Darters, Jalen Malero. And for the Mustangs, Victor Altamirano. In the 126 class, for the Blue Darters, Roosevelt Jackson. And representing the Mustangs, Maurice Weisenfeld. In the 132 weight class, for the Blue Darters, Jalen McMath. And for the Mustangs, James Sully. In the 138 class, for the Blue Darters, David McKnight. And for the Mustangs, Jamil Hernandez. In the 145 weight class, representing the Blue Darters, Shaquem Green. And for the Mustangs, Wellness Axios. In the 152 class, representing Apopka, Khalil Talley. And for the Mustangs, Ryan Wilkerson. In the 160 class, for the Blue Darters, Corey Cardosa. And for the Mustangs, Kennard Ramatar. In the 170 class, for the Blue Darters, Daryl August. And for the Mustangs, Brian Palmer. In the 182 class, for the Blue Darters, Tim Randolph. And representing the Mustangs, Duncan McClendon. Moving on to the 195 class, for Apopka, Matt Sims. And representing Wekiva, Shane O'Leary. In the 220 class, for the Mustangs, Nathaniel Brathwaite. And in the 285 class, for the Blue Darters, Tavarius Jackson. And finally, in the unlimited weight class, for the Blue Darters, Edwin Alvarado and Lawrence Stubbs. Tonight's event is being webcast live on the Wekiva Sports Channel on YouTube, as well as the NFHS Network. If you have friends and family who could not be with us tonight and they would like to join us virtually, send them to YouTube on their favorite mobile device or smart TV or computer and have them look up the Wekiva Sports Channel. Make sure you subscribe while you are there. If you're a member of the NFHS Network, it will be there as well. Again, Wekiva Sports on YouTube. We also have the link on our website, wekivamustangs.com. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please stand and remove your hats as we honor America with our national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? We'll begin with the 182-pound weight class, and once we get past heavyweight, we'll rotate around back to 106. Starting us off for Apopka, Randolph, and for the Mustangs, McClendon. McClendon picks up the takedown to get on the board first with 2. And McClendon runs Randolph out of bounds. We'll restart with McClendon up. And will voluntarily escape here. That'll put a point on the board for Randolph. Another 2-point takedown for McClendon, so that escape turns out to be wise. And Randolph on his back. We've got a count. McClendon takes the match by pin after leading 4-1 with an elapsed time of 1 minute and 10 seconds. That gives the Mustangs a 6-0 lead after one match. Next, we'll move on to the 195 class. In the 195 class, Sims for Apopka and O'Leary for Wekiva. And we'll get a takedown right off the bat from Sims. Trying to pull him back in bounds as O'Leary tries to escape. And O'Leary does successfully get out of bounds. He'll get a chance to reorient himself. Leary had a good look at a reversal, but Sims stays in control for two tussles. And they are going to give an escape and a re-takedown for Sims. That'll put O'Leary on the board with one. And we have a count for Sims with 14 seconds left in the period. And a near fall as we get an escape from O'Leary, narrowly avoiding the pin there as time runs out on the first period. That takes us to the end of the opening 2 minutes. Sims will defer. And O'Leary will choose to start the second period on top. Another 2 points on the takedown for Sims. Excuse me, on the reversal. O'Leary not done yet. Another near fall scored there. And O'Leary escapes out of bounds just as time expires. That'll be close enough for government work. Sims with an 11-2 lead at the end of 4 minutes. And O'Leary will start up for the third period. So Sims may be angling for a technical fall here as he chooses to start the match down to get that escape and then perhaps maybe a takedown. At this point, he's still 5 points away from a technical fall. And he gets the takedown. He'll need 3 more. And Sims gets a count for the third or fourth time this match. O'Leary continues to struggle. He's got 48 seconds left. A burst of energy from the legs. He'll spin around and nearly pop the referee in the face in the process. Less than 30 seconds left in the contest. Referee watching carefully for those shoulder blades. Another pop from the hips from O'Leary. And with 12 seconds left on the clock, Sims records the pin for the Blue Darters after leading 14-2 for an elapsed time of the match of 5 minutes and 48 seconds. Next up, we move to the 220-pound class, and Brathwaite will take the match by forfeit. That gives the Mustangs a 12-6 lead going into the heavyweight class. And so we'll have Jackson for Apopka and Dennison for the Mustangs. right, so we've now gone on to our top weight class. Often the bigger they are, the harder they fall, and that is no truer than in Greco-Roman wrestling. A lot of times in the heaviest weight classes, it'll take a while before you'll see a takedown on either side. Pins are harder to come by. Pause for a moment for Dennison to replace his headgear. All right, we're back to live action. Everybody's headgear fully secured now. And both parties still neutral. No points scored as of yet. Just about 30 seconds into the first period. And finally we take a tumble here, and it looks like we're going to get a takedown for Jackson. And just like that, with only a few seconds between the takedown and the pin, Jackson will take 6 points for Apopka. 1 minute and 7 seconds of elapsed time in the heavyweight round, and we'll now wrap around to 106.
Curtis.
In the 106 class, Ramirez for Apopka and Curtis for Wekiva. So we go from our heaviest weight class to our lightest. And obviously a huge size difference here as Ramirez and Curtis go head to head. It's 32 seconds into the 106 match. We will get a pin. Curtis picks up 6 points for the Mustangs, giving them an 18-12. Next, we'll move to the 113 class, and unopposed, Lane will take a forfeit for the Mustangs. Next, we'll move on to the 120-pound weight class. And we will be wrestling out of weight class on this one, so the points will not count, but we will wrestle anyway. And we have Moliere for the Blue Darters and Altamirano for the Mustangs. Still no points on the board as Altamirano forces Moliere out of bounds. We'll go back to neutral at the center with just about 30 seconds into the first period. Now we'll go to the floor right away, and they're going to give the takedown to Moliere. Moliere trying to spin Altamirano onto his back. Moliere still in control. Altamirano battling to stand. And we are going to get a reversal call as Altamirano spins around to the top. And Altamirano takes a big risk as he tries to take Moliere to the floor. Moliere earns a reversal for that and nearly gets a pin. In fact, he will get 2 points for the near fall. 29 seconds to go in the second period. And Moliere with a 6-2 lead over Altamirano, but a pretty even match so far otherwise. Moliere moves in for the takedown, and he'll get it. Altamirano trying to avoid the pin with 13 seconds left in the period. Count is now up to a 3 near fall at a minimum. And Altamirano narrowly avoids the pin, but 3 points for the near fall awarded to Moliere. That makes it an 11-2 lead as we head into the third period. And Moliere will choose to start that third period neutral. Moliere goes for the takedown, but has to take Altamirano out of bounds to do it. Will still be neutral coming back from the break. Still no establishment of control. Altamirano turns the tide, and after trailing by 9 points, reverses for an instant pin. Five minutes, 4 seconds, nearly a complete set of 3 periods, and Altamirano with a come-from-behind victory for the Mustangs. Wekiva now leads 30-12 as we head to the 126 class. Next, we go to the 126 class. Weisenfeld for the Blue Darters and Jackson for the Mustangs. And my apologies, I've got that backwards on the scoreboard. We'll fix that right now. And just like that, we're done. A quick pin by Jackson for the Blue Darters after leading 2-0 with just a single takedown. That tightens the score to 30-18. The Mustangs still lead with a 25-second elapsed time in the 126 match. As we head to the 132 class, McMahon representing Apopka and Sully for the Mustangs. And we'll start with a takedown for McMahon, and he's going to try to run Sully into the ground quickly, and A moving pin for McMahon. And he'll pick up 6 more.
Check in right here.
Hello.
You're what?
Hernandez.
Oh, McKnight. Okay. We have McMahon.
No.
Wait, hold on.
McKnight. Okay, I got you.
Gotcha.
That's right.
All right, so Apopka, McKnight, and Wekiva.
Hernandez. 138.
Okay.
You're good. Thank you.
And now we move on to the 138 class. McKnight up for Apopka, Hernandez for the Mustangs. And we'll get a quick takedown
Yeah, come on, David.
for McKnight. And an escape for Hernandez. McKnight going for the ankles. Hernandez able to dance away from that. Still no control. McKnight again goes for the ankles. Hernandez escapes from that. Trying to ascertain control with 9 seconds left. See if we can get a takedown before the period ends. And we will not. Just a single takedown and escape from the first period. We'll go into the second with McKnight with a 2-1 lead. And McKnight chooses to start the second period neutral for Apopka. Pause for some shoelace corrections, the $2 assassin as it were. And that'll be a technical violation against Hernandez. That'll add a point to McKnight's total. Hernandez circling McKnight, trying to get a takedown. And instead it will be McKnight that gets the takedown. And a near fall also awarded for McKnight. It gives him a 7-1 lead as we approach the midpoint of the second period. And McKnight will concede the takedown, so Hernandez earns an escape point. McKnight picking up nearly a full minute of riding time, but clearly it took a lot out of him. Short time left here in the second. And that takes us to the end of the second period. 5-point lead for McKnight, 7-2 going into the third. Hernandez earns an escape, trying to ascertain control. Hernandez needs a couple of points in the next 12 seconds. 7 seconds to go. And that takes us to the end of the third period, and it'll be a decision victory for McKnight as he earns 3 for Apopka.
It should be 27. It should be 27.
Next, we move to the 145 class. Axius for the Mustangs, green for the Blue Darters. And a quick takedown for Axius.
to shoot. Keep the movement up. Keep the movement up. There you go. There you go. Again, again, again. Good job. Good job. Keep that movement up. Keep that movement. Keep that movement. There you go. Head hook. Okay. Back up, back up.
Takedown for Oxius once again. Extends the lead to 4-1. Oxius trying to maintain control one-handed as he lets his other arm rest, and Green will get an escape here. Just a few seconds left in the first, and that's where we're going to leave it. That takes us to the end of the first period. Oxius with a 4-2 lead over Green, headed into the second. Oxius will defer, and Green will elect to start the second period down. And an escape scored there for Green. And now we're cooking. Oxius scores the victory by pin after leading 4-3. 2 minutes and 17 seconds elapsed in that match before the pin is earned.
That's an unsportsmanlike on Wekiva. Okay? So that's going to be one team. It's going to be one team. Thanks, sir. It would be 41, not 42. It was 42, it's now 41. Yes. No, recorded as a 6-point win, but recorded as an unsportsmanlike as well.
Right, but I'm saying the scoreboard will override it.
Right, okay, no problem. Right, okay, no. You guys know the scoreboard, I don't.
Wilkerson? Yeah. Yes.
Next, we move on to the 152 class, with the Mustangs up by 20. Representing Apopka in this match, Tally, and for the Mustangs, Wilkerson. So the explanation for the team's score, in case you did not hear it from the official, a 1-point unsportsmanlike penalty was assessed against Wekiva on the previous match for celebration after the conclusion of the match. Wrestling, of course, with the great Greco-Roman tradition of sportsmanship, and so it is enforced in a very concrete way compared to other sports where it may just put yards on the field or offer technical free throws. In wrestling, it amounts directly to team points. And so here we have Talley and Wilkerson. No points scored as of yet as they run out of bounds, still in the neutral position. We started with the 182 class, so that means we're actually getting ready to wrap up here. This is the third to last official match of the night. And we're going to get a takedown here by Talley. Wilkerson able to stay on his knees, though. And he's flipped around, though. And Talley going for the pin here, and he's got it. Talley picks up the pin in the first period for the Blue Darters. 1 minute, 9 seconds of elapsed time in that contest. 6 points on the board for Apopka. It cuts the Mustang lead to 41-27 as we head toward the 160 match. All right, 160. Cardosa for Wekiva. What's your name?
Cardosa.
Oh, that's your Cardosa.
Tenor Ramazan.
R-A-M.
O-U-T-A-R.
R-A-M-O-U-T-A-R? Okay, thank you.
What color am I?
Next up in the 160 class, we have Cardosa for the Blue Darters and Ramatar for Wekiva. And there's the takedown.
Get that hand off of there. Let's go. What are you doing? There you go. Move now. Move. You're out.
After some spinning around, Ramatar remains in control. Started to get a count, but wasn't able to hold it long enough to get any near fall points from it. And a stalling warning is called on Cardosa. That takes us to the end of the first period. Ramatar defers, and Cardosa chooses to start the second period down.
He's calling you for stalling. While the other guy's driving him up. More escape, red. More escape, red.
And so Ramatar will choose to just go ahead and take a hit on the escape point. He'd rather start in the neutral position. Taking a chance that he'll ultimately benefit from getting a takedown. and net 1 point. At this point, Wekiva has technically won the match, as the most Apopka can finish with is 39 points, barring any special technical points that might be awarded. And we're going to get a takedown by Cardosa here.
Put your chin on his shoulder. Put your chin on his shoulder. Put your chin on his shoulder.
And a near fall coming to Cardosa that puts him up by 6-2 as Ramatar is able to spin around and avoid the pin. And Ramatar escapes, gets back on his feet, gets the escape point, and he gets a takedown after that. So the best possible outcome for Ramatar, as he's able to do it in 2 separate moves. That gives him 3 points instead of a basic 2 for the reversal. And it closes the gap to a 1-point lead for Cardosa. Ramatar back up to 5. Trailing by just 1 now as we head into the final 20 seconds of the second period. And with just 4 seconds left in the second period, it'll be a pin for Ramatar. And that will extend the Mustangs' lead with 3 minutes and 56 seconds of elapsed time. Mustangs take a 47-27 lead for the match as we head into our final matchup.
Coach, can I ask you a question? Referee, can I ask you a question? What's your definition of top man stalling?
That was not it at all. Not even close.
Oh, because I put a little half on and stay behind him.
No, because
how can you turn somebody with a
his
half?
hips were way out there. Way out there.
August. Palmer.
Please call.
In our final regulation match of the event, we move to the 170 weight class. August up for Apopka, Palmer for the Mustangs. We'll get a takedown from Palmer. And a near fall coming up for Palmer. That'll give him a 5-point lead. Less than a minute to go in the first. Palmer still trying to recreate the magic he had early in the first 30 seconds. And on his back again, Palmer has the pin. Palmer picks up 6 more for Wekiva on a pin. That gives the Mustangs a 53-27 score over the Blue Darters. 1 minute, 49 seconds of elapsed time in that 170 match. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you so much for joining us in person or online for tonight's varsity duel between the Mustangs and the Blue Darters. 53-27 is the final score here on Thursday Night Wrestling action. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to let you know that you can follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Wekiva Sports for live updates from many of our home contests, as well as news and information about our athletes and alumni. And make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Even if you're watching us on YouTube right now, click that subscribe button before you go. If you are here in person and you didn't need to watch on YouTube, well, that's okay. You can pull out your phone and subscribe anyway. We are on a quest to get to 1,000 subscribers so we can become a YouTube partner later this season. For the Mustangs, your next opportunity to catch them is at the Deltona Duels. That is coming up in just 2 days. It's a Saturday event, and it starts early, weigh in at 9 o'clock, and competition will start at around 10. And then, of course, next Thursday, the big events down at Disney, the KSA Duels at the ESPN Wide World of Sports. That'll happen next Thursday and Friday. Once again, follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Wekiva Sports. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and bookmark WekivaMustangs.com for all of your scores, schedules, and more. Please drive carefully and arrive home safely. Have a great night. For those of you tuning in, we'll see you next time.